Hello, I'm Adam.
And I'm Philip. Welcome to the Griffin Podcast.
So during this break, we have thought of some great ideas for our podcast to improve it for your listening. We will be making the podcasts more talkative through conversations. We will have interviews every second week instead of every week.
Well, the lunches for the week of the 5th start on Tuesday because Monday is Easter Monday, so we have no school. Tuesday, we have chicken tenders. Wednesday, we have smoked turkey sausage. Thursday, we have vegetable lo mein. And Friday, we have hui chicken.
On the day that we are recording this podcast, it is a very special birthday, Philip Baltuck.
Thank you so much.
So how will you be spending your hours at home?
Well, I'll be spending it with my family and talking to family members on Zoom because sadly, because of COVID, we can't get together. And so, yeah.
Well, it's good that we're social distancing.
Well, there's been a lot more COVID cases, and I've seen the government's predicting a third wave.
Yes, I'm pretty sure this is all due to the variants that are coming from Brazil and from South Africa.
Well, they've said that they're more dangerous than the one that came from Wuhan, China.
Yes. So here's what I've heard, is that the first variant that sort of originated was the one from China. It was called SARS-CoV-2 because that's, like, they all have names. They're all mutations, but this was the original mutation. And then now we're seeing other ones that have happened. Now, health officials have actually said sometimes we realized that the 6 feet wasn't enough. So there's a good chance that these variants have been going around for far longer than we thought, but all of a sudden now, like maybe some countries like in Brazil, they noticed why we're keeping our distances. Why is it spreading like this if we're this far away and we're being protective? Well, the thing is that there are variants and these mutations can occur.
And as spring's coming, I also seen on the street a lot of people like stop social distancing, like older people and younger people who aren't from the same household getting together without masks outside. The warmer weather is affecting this, but I think that that's when will also be a leap in COVID cases and possibly COVID deaths.
Yes, and that's one issue I do think that the government is handling wrong in Quebec is because now they've changed the curfew to 9:30 as the sun's going down later, which is just a bit not logical. And yes, the sun's going down later, right? But the thing is that now, like, people, they're up till the sun's out. They're up till the sun's down, and now they're just like they're seeing people. The weather's nicer. You can see each other outside without getting all cold and stuff.
Well, I feel it's not really the curfew, but they need to mandate like an outside mask order in a way, or figure out a way for people to start wearing masks outside, so that way it's safer for people, especially on the streets, because some people's been just saying home and like online school, and now that it's outside, it's like the mix of people who are done with like COVID, mixed with people who are done with being inside, and the people who are done with winter. So I think in a way it's a confusion of all that that's causing like a possible third wave. And also the fact that even though we are trying to, it's kind of hard to get your hands on the vaccines because most of the vaccines are going to the countries that the manufacturers are in. For example, like Pfizer and Moderna, most of those are going in the U.S. because they're both U.S. companies, and to countries who participated in the trials.
Now, also, yes, it's been over a year now. COVID's been around for a while, but that is seriously no excuse. That means it's been too long. You still need to respect these guidelines, and that is no reason that we should not be respecting them just because it's been a while. This is for our own safety.
Of course.
Now, another thing is that Canada signed with Pfizer. So Pfizer's one of the bigger producers here, but we're not getting many vaccines here in Canada from Pfizer. And Canada signed $7.5 billion, and I'm going to say only because countries like the U.S. probably signed somewhere near $70 billion, which is really, it's going, yes, the U.S.'s population is 10 times Canada's, but that's probably why whoever had more money to give is probably getting them first.
And also, like, Canada didn't really partake in the trial taking, but like countries like Israel, who was a big part of the Pfizer trial to see if the vaccine was safe, ended up getting a lot of those vaccines because they helped find a safer way to fight COVID, and I think that's why they've been doing very well as well. And like countries like Australia and New Zealand, they've been having a really big lockdowns, and whenever there's one case, they like shut everything down. So I'm not saying we should go back to like the shutdown era, but I still feel there needs to be a little bit more like the government saying like, remember to be safe. Don't just like screw around, because like kids in class like sometimes like they talk about like not doing stuff, but like they really wear their masks in class, but like outside of school people don't really like follow those rules, because in school you have the teachers to enforce the rules.
And the issue now is that with these variants, you could just walk by someone on the street and you're immediately at risk. If they have it, there's a good chance that you might catch it, and then just because you've been outside or you've been places that you shouldn't, you could bring it to school, and then everyone in the class could get it. And it's a big issue, and again, who cares how long it's been? We need to keep safe, and we need to keep safe until this COVID thing is all over and we can finally breathe again like normal.
And also that it's not that kids are immune, but they have a bit of like an immunity to it, and that makes people feel like they're invincible. So like when they're around adults, they can still transmit the disease, which people I think don't understand, and what they're thinking is that they're all safe. But truth be told, they can get their parents sick, if their teacher sick, and other people on the street sick.
The issue is that, like Phil's saying, there's a lot of people who, just because they haven't gotten it and all the troubles they're making, and this is nearly everyone nowadays. Like a lot of people we see roaming around the streets, they have probably been in someone's house recently, which is a big issue because you're seeing other people, and that's not what we're supposed to do. Now, yes, it may feel like a big restriction that we just can't see people when the weather's getting nicer, but we have to take this seriously. It's enough now, and I feel like if we just... it's never been able to slow down enough because no one's tried hard enough.
And also, I feel that, like, it's not taken as seriously, and like also people who had the first vaccine believe they're immune. It's only, I believe, 75-60% like immune, so there's still a bit of a chance. And now also Canada's moved the waiting time for getting your second vaccine to 4 months, while the manufacturers such as Pfizer and Moderna are still saying it's a 3 to 4 week. So that's a pretty big gap. What do you think on that, Adam?
Now, I don't blame them because, I mean, there's still 39 million people in Canada, right? It's a lot of people to vaccinate. And if they're just going to if they're going to reserve 2 doses for everyone, that means only half as many people are getting vaccinated per batch of doses. So logically, we get some immunity with 1 dose. And logically, in my perfect society, I would rather have 10 million people at 79% immune compared to 5 million at 90% or 95%. But also
there's the chance that they were saying that the first vaccine, if you don't get the second one, the first one sort of becomes like it doesn't work anymore, that it becomes like less like well working. So if you wait longer than that, the vaccine might start like going from 79% to possibly 50% to lower, and then everyone would need to get 2 more vaccines again besides the first one, which would be even harder than just giving people 2 vaccines.
So that is slightly true, but the issue is that this has been hard to test for the for the workers and whoever runs these facilities where they make the vaccines, because it may not seem like it, but it does require a bit of a population. But even though 50% on each person, let's say one person does get it, spreading it to the next person might not be guaranteed. So it all kind of staggers on in the way that each percentage. It kind of like, let's say one person gets it, less odds for them. So that was our COVID segment, and thank you for listening to it. So during the month of April, we have National Humor Month and National Garden Day.
Remember to stay safe, social distance, wash your hands, and thanks for listening.